Hello and welcome to Slow English. Dear English learners, to another fantastic episode of Real English Podcast. I'm your host, and I am absolutely thrilled to have you join us today. Before we dive into today's super useful topic, if you're enjoying our podcast and finding it helpful, and I really hope you are, please take a moment to like this episode and subscribe to our channel. Your support truly helps us reach more amazing learners like you and keep bringing you great content. Alright, enough with the friendly reminders for now. Today, we're embarking on an exciting journey, learning English with podcasts, your ultimate guide. If you're wondering how to really make the most of podcasts for your English learning, you've come to the right place. Whether you're at an A2 level, just getting comfortable, or a B1 learner ready to stretch your wings, this episode is packed with tips, tricks, and a little bit of fun to boost your English skills. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's get started. First things first, why podcasts? Well, imagine carrying a tiny English teacher in your pocket, one who's always ready to chat, teach, and keep you company. That's a podcast for you. They're flexible. You can listen while commuting, cooking, or even just relaxing. Plus, they expose you to natural English, different accents, and real life conversations, which is incredibly valuable. It's like having a window to the English speaking world right in your ears. But how do we choose the right podcast for our level? This is crucial. If you pick something too hard, you'll get frustrated. Too easy, and you won't learn much. For our A2, B1 friends, look for podcasts specifically designed for English learners. These often have slower speech, clear pronunciation, and sometimes even transcripts. Don't be afraid to try a few and see what clicks. Think of it like trying on shoes. You need to find the perfect fit. Now, let's talk about the magic of active listening. It's not enough to just have a podcast playing in the background. While passive listening has its benefits for general exposure, active listening is where the real learning happens. It means paying attention, trying to understand the main ideas, and noticing new vocabulary. It's like being a detective, listening for clues. Shadowing practice 1. Getting started all right. It's time for our first shadowing practice. This is a fantastic technique where you repeat what you hear as closely as possible, trying to match the speaker's rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is to get your mouth and mind working together. I'll say a sentence, and then you repeat it right after me. Ready? Let's go. Podcasts are great for learning English. They help me understand natural speech. I listen to podcasts every day. It improves my listening skills a lot. Excellent. You're already doing great. Keep that practice going. Moving on, let's explore how to really dig into the vocabulary. When you hear a new word or phrase, don't just ignore it. Pause the podcast, look it up, and try to understand it in context. Even better, keep a vocabulary notebook or use an app to jot down new words. Write down the word, its meaning, and an example sentence from the podcast if possible. This way, you're not just learning a word, you're learning how it's used naturally. It's like building your own personal dictionary, brick by brick. For example, if you hear the phrase to come across and it means to find something by chance, write it down. Then, next time you're speaking, try to use it. I came across a really interesting podcast episode yesterday. See? Easy peasy. Shadowing practice 2. Everyday vocabulary time for our second shadowing practice. Remember, try to imitate my voice as much as you can. I came across a new word today. It was an interesting expression. I wrote it down in my notebook. Practice makes perfect for vocabulary. Fantastic effort. Keep going. Another powerful tip for A2, B1 learners is to use transcripts. Many podcasts for learners offer transcripts, which are basically written versions of what's being said. This is a game changer. You can listen, read along, and then listen again without reading. This helps you connect the sounds of English with its written form, improving both your listening and reading skills. It's like having subtitles for your life, but for learning English. Also, don't be afraid to slow down the audio. Most podcast players have a speed setting. If a native speaker is talking too fast, just reduce the speed to 0.75x or even 0.5x. Understand it first, then gradually increase the speed. There's no prize for listening at warp speed if you're not understanding anything. Patience is key. Shadowing practice 3. Understanding sentences all right. Let's get those mouths moving again with our third shadowing practice. Focus on the entire sentence this time. Using transcripts helps me a lot. I can read along while listening. Slowing down the audio is useful. It helps me catch every word. Brilliant. You're doing splendidly. Finally, let's talk about consistency and enjoyment. Learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. Try to make listening to podcasts a regular habit, even if it's just for 15 to 20 minutes a day. And most importantly, choose podcasts that you genuinely enjoy. If you love true crime, find an English true crime podcast for learners. If you're into cooking, look for a cooking podcast. When you're interested in the content, learning becomes much easier and more fun. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a hobby. Who knew learning could be so entertaining? Remember, every little bit of listening adds up. Don't be discouraged by mistakes or moments of confusion. They are all part of the learning process. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and keep that curiosity alive. Shadowing practice 4. Expressing ideas, and now for our fourth and final shadowing practice. Let's practice expressing some ideas. Consistency is very important. I enjoy learning English this way. This podcast is truly helpful. I feel more confident speaking now. You nailed it. That was excellent. And there you have it, our ultimate guide to learning English with podcasts. I truly hope these tips help you on your language learning journey. Remember, podcasts are a powerful tool, and with a little active listening, consistency, and a dash of curiosity, you'll be making amazing progress in no time. Thank you so much for tuning into Real English Podcast today. If you found this episode valuable, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow and continue bringing you top-notch English learning content. We love hearing from you, so feel free to leave a comment with your favorite English learning podcasts or any questions you have. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep enjoying the wonderful world of English. Bye for now.